So hello and welcome back to SJ Cartier Limited Convos. And today I'm going to touch on the Epstein files, and I'm going to touch on it and give you some of the things that we found out from the 30th of January, and how we should look at a lot of things that are being shown to us and kind of delve into what has been released. So on the 30th of January 2026, an additional 3 million pages 3 million pages that included 180,000 images, 180,000 images, and 2,000 videos from the Epstein files relating to various celebrities, circumstances, situations, reports, filed reports, a variety of things, incidents that have been proven, not proven, incidents that are still being investigated. There's a lot there. What did we find out? And first thing I'm going to say is, let's give a thought to everybody, every one of the victims. Let's start with that. So let's really think, like, there's a lot of victims in these files, and there's a lot of victims not in these files that we are unaware of, that go through a lot of trauma. And something that really shocked me as well when I looked in, there's a woman called Gloria Allred. Gloria Allred, she's a woman rights lawyer, and she has stated after these files were released on the 30th of January, last Friday, that a lot of these women's names were not supposed to be in those files and were not supposed to be published. So not only were these women and these people not protected while they were going through this, not only were they now waiting still for someone to be persecuted, seeing a man die in jail, seeing others live famous celebrity lives, so they're going through trauma, going through a lot where they don't believe anybody can believe them, and they're giving this in confidence, knowing that a lot of people could come after them, because this isn't something small. These are people with money, with power. These are people that a lot of people look up to because they see them on their TV or on their screen daily. And you may think, oh, no one looks up to Trump, but look how many people voted Trump in. So although these files were known about Trump before, and only now have they brought out these things about Trump, people still voted Trump to be president. Not once, but twice. So you have to think, regardless of what these reports are showing, there's people out there that still follow these people, regardless of what they hear, regardless of what they see, regardless of what they believe. They're just going to follow and support whoever they think they need to or want to, for whatever reasoning. This is why, again, I told you before, I don't vote. There's a reason I don't vote. I don't vote because I don't believe anybody you put in power is going to do the best for the normal people. They're just going to maintain the structure that has been set in place for them already. So let's go into it. So yeah, thoughts with the victims, because a lot of their names were actually put into these reports. They weren't supposed to be put into these reports. So even there, they weren't being protected by their right of, not silence, but their right of animosity, whatever the word is, of privacy, basically. So Trump, as we've started with him, there's more than a dozen tips relating to Trump, with some of these being unproven. Let's remember this, these are reports that have been put in, unproven at the moment. Some of them are sexually related offences. Then when we think of Howard Lutnick, who is the US Secretary of Commerce directly under Trump, he made plans in 2012 after calling to go to Epstein Island. He tried to go to Epstein Island in 2012, and this is after him calling Epstein in 2005 disgusting. No, I'm just stating things that are being reported and want you to settle on these things. So Trump, yeah, we already knew about what possibilities, and we knew there were reports out there for him already, but he was voted back into president. And my understanding is a president can't be arrested unless it's by the army. So at this moment in time, he can't be arrested for any of his crimes because he's president. So why vote this man in? Why allow him to get voted in? I'm confused. I'm in England, so I don't know. Americans talk to me. Why did you vote Trump in? Why? And you knew these allegations already, and you know only the army can get him out. And then right underneath him, there's a man that's calling Epstein disgusted in 2005. And then in 2012, he's trying to go to the island. Then there's people like Elon Musk that have been revealed. He's messaging Epstein to go on his island. And this I found very contradictory. And this is what I say about a lot of these. I'm not going to say Elon Musk is racist. I'm not saying him. But there's a lot of far right and racist groups that will like to point out that it's Muslims doing all of these things. So for me, I saw this guy appear on a screen in London talking to this Stephen guy about, oh, there's a war on our hands and you best be ready to defend for your family and your kids and your women and your children. But you're trying to go to Epstein Island, mate. Contradictive. Just like this Stephen guy. Why are you not talking about your friend appearing in in these files? Huh? Why are you not talking? Oh, sorry, I forgot. I literally forgot. He's not Muslim. Sorry. Move on. Move on. And this is after in 2019, this Elon Musk stated at the Vanity Fair that Epstein had tried to get into the island and failed. Wait a minute. He tried to get you to the island and failed. I'm a bit confused because in these are revealing that you tried to go to the island, so I'm a bit confused. Did he fail to get you to the island, or did you fail to get yourself to the island? We'll move on. Next, we've got this Andrew guy from the UK. We're not going to call him by no other name other than Andrew, yeah? And some of the at the moment, the press is really highlighting him, I'd say, specifically, especially in the UK. I feel like I'm seeing some videos and pictures of this man tickling little girls in the kitchen and all sorts, and that he invited Epstein to Buckingham Palace. We already knew what this man was up to. A lot of people still supported this man. Some people may still support this man. But it's quite scary to think this is somebody that is highly royalty. He's not high, he's royalty. Was royalty. And he's inviting them to Buckingham Palace, London. So now this is where I say, is this scary for us? Because it's not only like we're looking at this from the UK and we're thinking this is a big load of stars. Like there's a lot of names being called out. Like I'm gonna go through some of the names that have been called out here. So there's Richard Branson. His name's been called out. New York Giants co-owner Steve Tisch. Peter Mandelson. Hollywood filmmaker Brett Ratner, who done Rush Hour, and he actually done a film or show, who directed the recently released Melania Trump. I shouldn't really show this, but this is the video that's been going around. As I say, I'll do my little, so these are like from BBC and CNN, I think, some of them, Guardian, some of them. Sarah Ferguson, obviously his partner. There's Ehud Barak, a former Israeli Prime Minister. Larry Summers, a former US Treasury Secretary and ex-Harvard president. Sergey Brin, Google co-founder. Steve Bannon, former Trump advisor. And some of these are just exchanging hundreds of messages and emails, but their names are in here. Miroslav Lajčák, Slovak National Secretary Advisor. Obviously Jay-Z, Harvey Weinstein, and a surprise to some of us, Pusha T. And there's a lot more names being revealed all over the place. You'll see so many names of so many different people being mentioned. And the scary thing is, as you start to realize, this is not just something that you like. With the Diddy thing, we was thinking, oh, it's stars or artists or people that wanted to be something that went to these places and then were abused. Now with the island, it seemed like it was a lot of regular people as well. And when you start to realize these are regular people now, and I'm trying to talk as an Englishman, English Jamaican in England now. When you think, oh, Jay-Z and all these celebrities, sometimes they seem so far-fetched to us because we don't see them. Like Drake, we've seen Drake, but Jay-Z, you don't get to see Jay-Z and Beyonce just randomly, if that makes sense. So it's a bit different of a highlight. So you think whatever they're going on within their world, it may not interact with yours as a regular person. But then when you start to realise that even Epstein's been invited to Buckingham Palace, we're starting to see the connections of England to America. We're starting to see how even our kids in America, our women in America, shouldn't feel safe. In England, I mean, the women and the children in England shouldn't feel safe when they're going to certain of these, what we may call red carpet events, these money in your bank events, if that's what we want to call them, and meet and greet events where alcohol is flowing and you may have just been introduced to something and you're all shying, because a lot of us, when we go to new places, we don't like to feel like we're the awkward one, if that makes sense. So if you go to a bar, and for me, I'll talk from my preference, if I go to a bar and two men are kissing, I'm not just going to walk out the bar, if that makes sense. It's not something that interacts with me. It's not something that I'm going to look to do, but it's something that I'm going to accept, even though I may not accept it for myself, if that makes sense. And that's just in a normal bar, if that makes sense, where money isn't a prevalence, where it's just a night out. So imagine people going to places where they feel they're now been looking up to these people for a very long time, and this is what these people are doing. How do you think they now let a blind eye slip? And these are the scary things that we got to think of, that people don't know what situations people could end up in. Honestly, like, it's even mad. Like, for me, I've had an adventurous life, and there's certain situations that you have to stop or to walk away from because it's not what's in your repertoire, if that makes sense. And I think some people lose that. Some people see money and fame and want more money and fame for themselves. So they look over these things, and it's a scary thing to think of, because if he could have been in Buckingham Palace, he could have been shopping down Regent Street, Oxford Street. They could have picked up a girl just going to school, going to college, going to work. They could have done many things. Like, it's crazy to think people see money and they could be attracted by money and not know the circumstances they are getting themselves into, which makes it so much serious when you start to think of it as it's not just a celebrity thing. It's all of us that have to be aware of what's around us, who's around us. And also realise something I've realised as well. There's a lot of names being called out here, and none of these names are Muslim people. It's quite funny to say, like, A lot of this talk recently, especially in the UK, as I say, because I do talk, it's yes of world news, but for me, it affects me in the UK because there's UK people being brought into this that have either been over there or invited people over here. So it's quite scary to think like a lot of people are talking about the asylum seekers and the Muslims and all these people over here, and even with these ICE. And I've been saying it to my partner as well, and I'm glad Mark Adderley, I'm gonna call his name because he's on Instagram. I see him on Instagram, and I love the way he spoke, and he's kept it he's kept it real, and I believe this. I said it to my partner as well, and our daughter didn't believe, but I believe it. Like it's real ICE, yeah. Let's overly think about everything, yeah. ICE have been just trying to get rid of everyone in America currently, and it's quite scary for regular people. Like I'm seeing children get beat down, and they're American. I'm seeing people closing their businesses because they're scared that these people are going to come and try and harass their customers or their workers. So it's a lot of warfare going on. A lot of people are taking back over their streets and saying ICE ain't coming here, and they're having to retreat. These ICE workers are having to retreat, which is fun. But then when we look at it, people are removing themselves now from X, Y, because they're not able to vocalize or show how they are against this regiment that Trump has put in with these ICE workers, and that this connection to Epstein is actually, he shouldn't be in power and we should have more things to worry about. So they're fighting against his regime, fighting against these ICE people, fighting against his connection to Epstein, and their TikToks are being taken down. Their profiles are being removed. So a lot of people have been removing themselves from TikTok due to this. Now, as people are starting to leave in their hundreds of thousands and millions and whatever, now we have these files given to us. Now we have these files given to us. And for me, I'm glad he said it. It's changing where our focus and mind should be, if this makes sense. Because we already knew about this. This is a battle that we can't fight right now. It's in the courts. Like, what we're going to do, go to Jay-Z, go to Andrew, go to all these people and citizen arrest them ourselves and bring them to justice ourselves. I don't think any of us are doing this. So if we're not able to have the power to do those things, yes, we can, like now, I've talked about it, show my grievances to these people and trying to show awareness to what's going on. But then we're forgetting that, in fact, there's regular people right now being attacked and trying to be moved to and surrounded and questioned about where they're from and who they are and whether they're from that country or not. They're being attacked. They're feeling intimidated. So let's say they are immigrants and they've suddenly been working here for 10 years, haven't caused no problem, they're getting kicked out of the country. There's actual American citizens doing worse things than those civilians. Why are you going for them? Then let's think about the people that are normal civilians, that are American citizens. Is that how you're trying to treat your own American citizens? And for me, if you understand me and you look back, I'm not a person for authority. So anybody that thinks you have to do something or you should do something just because they're telling you to, I'm not a person to bow my head to that. Whether it's for fame, money, power, whatever it is, I don't really care for that. So for me, when people are trying to use their suit of armor, their police uniform, their tasers, their guns, their systematic attack on individuals, I don't like that. I don't like that. Because you're using your power to intimidate regular civilians. Regular civilians. And the fact they're doing that is only because they're in that. And this is why I was glad that people were fighting back in America, because it showed, as something I've said, as regular people, we are stronger than the people believe with the money and with everything else. It's just they're more organized. So whereas we may actually see that, oh, all these Epstein files have come out. Oh, this celebrity, my favourite celebrity. Oh, my star. Oh, Pusha T, now all the urban community. Oh, Andrews, all the English royals and the British. Oh, Musk's of the Americans. Oh, all these names. Trump, all these names are being thrown at you. Your confusion's been with them. And we're forgetting there's people on the ground still going through warfare. There's people in Gaza still going through warfare. There's people in Congo going through warfare. There's warfare around a lot of places still right now. And these power people have given us something to talk about, because we can't change that. But we can change how they attack regular civilians, because there's more of us than them when they come. So I want that to be the end of this one. Just a little thought plan. Yes, the Epstein files, they've come out. We knew about a lot of these people already. Are they going to jail? Are they going to jail? Is the hanging coming back out? Have we got death penalties, life sentences going on? What's going on? Like, where's the punishments? Stop telling us about the files and telling us names. Just send people to jail. That's all we want to hear. So don't get confused. Don't be just misled in the chattings that they want us to talk, because that's what they fed us. Because again, as I say, if they were protecting the people, I said this at the very beginning, if they were wanting to protect the people and care for the people, their names wouldn't be in some of those papers there. They would have made guaranteed sure that these people's names were protected and hidden. Why haven't they? So, what about the ones that are not being just pushed out there? You know, the ones that are at the top, but really and truly they're not seen. What about those who are higher than Trump? What about those who are doing worse than these people that you are claiming? What about the people that are fighting warfare now? Now, due to corruption and due to the same people that you are talking about. What about them? So I want everybody to open their minds. As I say, SJ Cartier Limited Convos is all about opening your mind. Yes, I'll talk about things that are going on in day-to-day life and whatever, with my business, with news, with sport, with my collect, whatever it may be that really interacts with me. I wanted to talk about ICE and I've wanted to talk about Epstein for a while. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you understand where I say we could be being misled? What other names have you heard? What are some of this? What do you think should be happening with these files? What are we supposed to do as normal people with these files? Please let me know. So thank you for joining SJ Cartier Limited Convos, and I hope you all have a good day.